Hey everybody, this is Jeff. Um, I've been looking at lots of emails and messages from people in Minnesota, and I have people calling me, and I'm having conversations with them, and we're trying to get a handle on the kind of stuff you're seeing on the news. And I'm looking at trying to pull stuff out, details about what's going on there that you guys are seeing. And every time I think about writing a script, I keep coming back to this letter that I got today. And I think instead of me trying to pull together some sort of, highlight bullet points of all the great stuff that's coming to me, I was just going to read one letter. It's a little lazy for me to do that, but I think it's really powerful and I'd like for you guys to hear it. This is from, the Trump administration is calling everybody these domestic terrorists, right? Domestic terrorists, agitators. Okay? I'm going to read you something from an agitator. I've had several of you from out of state ask about us, and I will tell you things are far worse than anything the mainstream media is presenting. There are too many videos to share and far too many ICE raids, beatings, abductions, other crimes to even begin to count, let alone have any hope of knowing about, let alone sharing. And of course, we all know about Renee Good's brutal murder last week. Everybody I know here is shaken to the core. Over these weeks, I've been sharing videos and photos and other people's stories because they need to be shared. People need to know what's happening in real terms, not the balanced 30-second segments on mainstream media. I'm writing tonight because, frankly, I don't know what else to do. A video shared by a close coworker in front of her church yesterday, and more abductions at bus stops today became the last straw, to be honest. I'm tired and angry. And so is everyone else here. I'm saying these things because we need people outside the Twin Cities to understand these are not a handful of incidents. We are literally under the largest federal occupation of an American city in generations. With over 2,000, some say 2,400 ICE agents here and another 1,000 on the way, it is deliberate political targeting of my state. The rest of the country should be watching. This is the testing ground. You don't want to live this way, I promise you. Fight like hell because they intend to bring this everywhere. The people and neighborhoods in my city are not abstractions. They are more than scenes that flash across your nightly news and social feed. We live here. We know these people who are being harassed and taken. We know and are those who are witnessing this violence. One of the coworkers witnessed Renee Good's murder. I know many people who live in that neighborhood where ICE is absolutely relentless, including violently abducting multiple people. That just on the street alone yesterday and every day, the notifications for raids and abductions are nonstop, all hours of the day and night. At times, they're going door to door, lately kicking in the door, armed to the teeth, entering illegally without a warrant and without batting an eye. They're pulling fire alarms in apartment buildings to grab people on their way out of the buildings. They pull over when they see a person of color at a gas station, like yesterday afternoon a few blocks from here, or a bus stop like this morning, or walking down the street every single day to harass and very often violently abduct them. These agents aren't out for any particular reason. Don't buy the lies about picking up criminals. They just grab whoever they deem non-white. Native Americans have been taken, and many of them are still missing. They're also abducting white legal observers, including those who offer no confrontation whatsoever. Yesterday, they violently abducted an autistic woman who was just trying to get to a doctor's appointment on the street that they were occupying. They gassed legal observers, or any observers, and protesters with tear gas, banned by the Geneva Convention for Civilians, and mace and pepper balls. They shoot non-lethal ammunition at close range that sends people to the hospital and in some cases permanently blinds people. Yes, they deliberately aim at their faces. I get so tired of hearing people lecture about what ICE can and cannot do legally. Yes, we all know. The problem is ICE agents don't care and they don't want and do what they want. DHS has told them that they have unconditional immunity. Their raids are everywhere, including places we go regularly: restaurants, gas stations, grocery stores, parks, hospitals, any kind of business or public space you can think of. In many parts of the city, you literally cannot go out without hearing the sirens and whistles. And then the constant helicopters. Everyone who lives here knows what I mean. Every parent here, I worry for my daughters school because they are, yes, targeting schools. Last week, they attacked students and a staff at a Minneapolis high school. Yesterday, it was a middle school and elementary school. Today, it was circling nearly all South Minneapolis elementary and middle schools. ICE is at daycare centers and preschools. Parents are volunteering to monitor school pickups and drop-offs. And yesterday, there was a police presence at my daughter's school. Many kids can't even go to school now because there's so much fear that they or their parents will be taken. Schools are rushing to create online classes, hybrid setups, accommodate those who don't feel safe enough to come to school. Children have literally been abducted on their way home from school by ICE. I know of at least one parent who was abducted at a bus stop today while she stood with her elementary school child. They illegally entered the college campus I worked at and abducted a student there. Again, this is what I know through my own personal networks. Oh, and ICE is blocking the food distribution center at the Minneapolis public schools, so trucks can't get out to deliver lunches. It's been reported to the Minnesota Attorney General, but that doesn't change the fact that students will go hungry. Thousands upon thousands of people are afraid to leave their homes to go to grocery shopping, visit food shelves, get medicine, or go to work. Businesses are empty or closed because workers are terrified to travel or to be visible in their jobs. Women in their neighborhood are asking through back channels about at-home midwives because they're afraid to go to the hospital to have their babies. And their fear is warranted. ICE has been entering hospitals without warrants. They've attacked people outside hospitals, and they've also been waiting outside multiple hospitals, including a children's hospital, to pick up people of color who come out the doors. Neighborhoods and churches, including my own, are scrambling to organize mutual aid efforts to get groceries to people to help pay bills while family members can't go to work or drive those who are afraid to be seen behind the wheel or at a bus stop. We're not just talking about undocumented people, we're talking about any person of color. These are our neighbors. Our children's classmates, our friends and family members. Our city, but increasingly our entire metro area, is seeing and dealing with these cosplay thugs every single day. And they're moving into rural areas as well, picking up people indiscriminately. Again, this has nothing to do with criminal backgrounds and everything to do with race. Now on top of it all, we have a bunch of white supremacist goons coming here in a few days to march in the most terrorized neighborhoods. The only comfort is that it's supposed to be single digits next week. Welcome to Minnesota, you fucking losers. I added you fucking. We saved our best weather just for you. I'm beyond disgusted with these thugs and those who support this assault on our constitutional rights, let alone basic human decency. My community is exhausted and fried from stress, and I'm a white person who doesn't even live in the epicenter. I can't imagine what many are going through right now who can't work and have no income. Those whose loved ones have been taken or beaten or murdered. The children who are forever traumatized at the loss of their parents. But make no mistake, we aren't backing down. I've lived in a lot of places in my life, and I have to say, they chose the wrong freaking state. People are organizing beyond anything I've ever seen in my life, and it makes me so damn proud to live in this city. I've never loved it more, and I'll keep fighting for it. So please, share the videos, the stories, amplify everything you see coming out of this state. The mainstream media is all but dead. Follow Georgia Fort, blah, blah, blah. It goes on to say who she thinks you should follow, copy and share, et cetera, et cetera. So that's one letter, and I get hundreds of these letters now, okay? When you say somebody's an agitator, that's the language that the Trump administration is using. Domestic terrorists, right? Terrorists is a word. You know, remember when they're bombing the boats off the coast of Venezuela? They weren't drug dealers, they weren't fishermen, they were terrorists. You call somebody something, it makes it a lot more easy to accept what's going on. Domestic terrorists, right? Agitators. I think they're agitated. I think civilians in Minneapolis are agitated. And the people they're agitated with are the agitators. That's what a lot of the information I'm getting from people who are calling and writing and texting. And I think that when you look at this situation, it's really easy for the Trump administration to put these labels on people. Don't let them put these labels on you. Agitating is really just another word for protesting. These people are protesting. They have a constitutional right to protest. They have a constitutional right to film. And they don't deserve to be beaten up by these people, these ICE guys who are coming in and doing all this stuff. I just want to get this out and post it today. We'll have more stuff on Minneapolis, but I want you to understand what the people are feeling like inside Minneapolis. And this so-called agitator, I mean, she's one of many who they're forming, you're talking about, Trump administration is talking about paid agitators coming into the city. The stuff I'm getting from people are from people who are running church organizations. They're running private community groups. They're banding together. They're not coming in from outside anywhere. There's no paid anything. And by the way, even if people were paid, there's nothing illegal about paying people to protest. But it's just bullshit. Nobody's doing that. These are local people. They're housewives. They're mothers. They're fathers. This particular woman is a hairstylist. She's a hairstylist. So you're saying hairstylists who are protesting the way the governments are treating brown people and immigrants, you're saying she's a terrorist now? Like, follow, and share. Spread the word about what this is really about. This is about control, and this is about the Trump administration trying to punish blue states. We'll have more details on that. But if you look at the states that are really getting cracked down on, they're all run by Democratic governors. Same's going to happen here in Virginia because we just changed from a Republican governor to Democratic governor. Like, follow, and share. Thanks for listening.